交わした約束忘れないよ目を閉じ確かめる押し寄せた闇振り放って進むよ
If I have to choose an anime that were the most controversial and groundbreaking in 2007, meanwhile being a mainstream anime, I'll pick Madoka Magica. And yes, as an expert, I found that most of the mainstream anime turned out to be very disappointing. But as we're going to discuss, if Magica Madoka deserves its hype or not, we will as well describe if it's a good anime as well. Be warned though, as I could spoil everything and anything about the show. So if you haven't watched the series or don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you to watch it now before watching this show. So without ado, let's begin! As you would expect, the story follows our main protagonist named Madoka Kaname, an 8th grade middle schooler who one day meets a bunny cat looking creature. Yeah, a bunny cat looking creature named Kyubey, who would grant them any wish into turning them into a magical girl who would fight witches. Wait a minute, that didn't really describe it well. So, they fight witches, which in return would drop them grief seeds that they could use to purify their gem, in return keeping them alive. And yes, this story is well known not for being a magical girl genre or its cute characters, but is very well known because of its being a deconstruction of the magical girl genre, which none of the other company have ever done. As the story progresses, the world around Madoka starts to become darker and darker by the passing episode, showing the show's true nature about the world, and as another great anime would say,
humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain, something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law.
Using that logic, the wishes that each character chooses become worse than they hope to be, every information that they learn will be their biggest downfall, and every wrong action they took can lead them to their own demise. Sadly, as what I've said about the story can't be said the same as well for the characters, as they tend to be the recycled characters that we have seen in a bunch of animes, just with some twist that makes us unable to hate on them. So here are the list of them. First off, we have Madoka, the main protagonist that is kind and gentle and adverse from fighting. As the show progresses, we see her character grows more mature, being in the end she sacrificed her life just to save the fate of the universe. After that, we have Homura, the cold and antagonistic character. Even though she looks like an antagonist, it shows that she's actually trying to protect our main character Madoka, doing whatever it takes just to protect her, repeating the timeline over and over again no matter how much it takes. Next up, we have Sayaka, the best friend character that is very lively and tomboyish, with the strong ideals of love and lawfulness. Although as the story progresses, her view of the world is slowly corrupted due to the stress and the consequence of her wish. Before in the end, so we have Mami, the cheery and confident senior character. Although she might be viewed as a happy, caring, and even pamperous character, she is shown to be very lonely inside, as she have no one to fight with. And when our main protagonist offered her to be a friend, she met a tragic end quickly after the fight. Finally, we have Kyoko, the hot-headed character. When she first appeared, she appears as an antagonist that are greedy and don't care about others' well-being. However, after knowing the truth from Kyubey, she is shown to have worried about Sayaka and appeared to have a dark past, being in the end she sacrificed herself to take down the witch form of Sayaka, making sure she does not die alone. As for the sound in this show, it can be described within 2 words: provocative and effective. Every soundtrack is well composed by Yui Kajiura and fits every scene. The composer also composed other series soundtracks such as Fate Zero, Pandora Heart, and even Sword Art Online. For the animation, it tends to be very heavy on abstract and symbolic meanings rather than the literal portrayal, especially during the fight scenes between the witches. This is very effective as the show becomes darker and darker by the passing episode, and due to that, it could represent what's happening to the characters. So in the end, after calculating the story, character, sound, and animation, I have decided that Madoka Magica do deserve its hype. Madoka Magica is a well-written and animated story that is a deconstruction of a genre that we may never see attempted by the animation studios ever again. And if I were to compare it with a real-life medium, I'll pick the German folk story called Faust, as both stories are stories of people selling their soul just for a wish.